you compare lifetime achievement award with the Oscar?
What's more important?
Well, if you could compare both.
I don't want to have to compare them. Well, one of the things this did was remind me of the half dozen theaters that I've been to in my life that have been really meaningful for me. And I realized that I've been a movie junkie since I was 5 years old. You know, I basically learned how to read. My father would take me to foreign films at the Thalia Theater in New York. I remember this vividly when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. And it was an extraordinary adventure for me. And I started compiling the past week since I heard about this, that the theaters that have had real meaning for me. And that was first on the list. There was the Clark Theater in Chicago. When I was in Second City, I was in the first company of Second City 100 years ago. We used to do our shows, rehearse all day long, do our shows until about 11, 11:30 at night. And we'd walk a mile, 2 miles to the Clark Theater in Chicago, watch foreign films there till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, walk all the way back, talk about them. Ben Grumman's Chinese, I remember how impressed I was and when I used to go there when I was a kid. And just the whole series of enormously moving frames to all the great movies I've seen over the years. And I realized I've forgotten how important the framing of the films were. And so many theaters were deeply moving for me. It remained very vivid in my memory.
And do you keep the same passion?
Do I keep the same passion? When something's really affects me, I do. When I'm very moved, but yeah, I keep hoping. I'm not as I guess gullible or as I was when I was a kid. I mean, I can see, or I feel like I can feel when people have been reading too many books on film technique and know the rules and don't have any heart or passion themselves. When people are doing it for the passion of it, then I feel like I can feel the passion. Like Mike Lee's, we were just talking about Mike Lee, who I think is a genius. When I see his films, it awakens my passion. When I see Ang Lee's films, it awakens my passion. A couple of the films last year, I felt very much that way about it. Yeah, I'm afraid I still feel very much the same way. I still love films.
With your incredible filmography, is there
I'm sorry, what?
With your incredible filmography, is there a particular film that's it brings back the best memories for you?
Of doing it?
Yes.
No, it's just like looking at family albums at this point. They bring back very vivid memories, almost every one of them, but for very, very different reasons. Every once in a while, it's because the movie is great, or near great, or wonderful. I mean, like I felt that way. I guess over the decades and decades, there have been about a dozen films that I really feel hold up, and I get excited about watching it even now. But I can usually find something. A lot of actors just look at their own performances. I find myself having memories about the places that they evoke, the other people I met, some of whom are still friends after 40, 50 years in the business. So it's still very rich for me.
Can you tell us a little bit about, you got a movie coming up in December, can you tell us a little bit about Love the Coopers from CBS?
Big cast, a lot of great actors, a terrific script, a really literate, interesting, rich script that manages to take about a dozen people and flesh out their characters to a very, very deep degree. Terrific director who's become a friend. Crazy about Jesse Nelson, and most of my work was with Amanda Seyfried, who she and my wife and I talk all the time on a daily basis now. We've become very good friends since we became friends with Ed Helms, And I've worked with John Goodman before, but that's just a terrific cast. I never worked with Diane Keaton, but it was great being around her and watching the way she works. And I had to, you never know what to expect. I very often still get surprised. I keep thinking an actor's going to be this way, and you say, oh, they're going to be like this. They have a kind of stereotype of what their personality is going to be like, and I'm constantly shocked and in a state of awe, particularly by, I think in this film, more by her than anybody else. She was just present and just one of the gang, and no star treatment of any kind, and extremely generous in a very quiet, unassuming ways. She didn't want people to know, but she was enormously generous with other cast members and the crew, and a great delight. So that's always a great surprise. And, I don't know what else to say. I love my part. Love working with Amanda. I have a lot of hope for the film. I think it's got a shot at being really an unusual Christmas film, an adult Christmas film. There are not a lot of them, and the ones that are can stay around for a long, long time. Things like The Bishop's Wife or It's a Wonderful Life. I got my fingers crossed.
Mr. Arkin, you said that you grew up on foreign films and you've been a fan of foreign films. I'm French, so I was wondering, what type of foreign films? I mean, New Wave, French New Wave, Neorealism?
No, the New Wave didn't get to me very much. I liked before the New Wave. I liked the French films of the 30s and 40s. That was what my father dragged me to, and those are the films I still love. I mean, the actors from that period in France are some of my favorite all-time actors. And I feel like I've been influenced by them, like Rameau, like Harry Bauer, like Louis Jouvet, like, huh? No, I don't know who that is. I tried watching that a dozen times. Every time somebody tells me it's a great movie, I try it again. I last about a half an hour and I never get through it. I don't know what it is. It's a little precious for me. There's Michel Simon, one of my all-time great favorite actors. And there was his name I forget, the great director that died very young. What the heck was his name? He did 3 or 4 films. Jean Vigo, yeah. So that was the period. And now again, in the French films, I think French films are having a big renaissance. There's a lot of really exciting things going on in French films. And Italian films, like The Great Beauty, and Reality. Did you see Reality? Oh my God. Great performance. Yeah.
Thank you guys. We have to wrap it up.